All right, friends, today I'm super excited. We always have something in store for you every beginning of the week. But today we have something very special. So, as you know, we've been partnering with Lovable in their Shipped program, 6 weeks, where people, regardless if they can code or engineers or not, it's mostly bike coders. There are thousands of people there building something. They are demonstrating together with us and the other sponsors that if you can imagine it, you can ship it. That means that the next startups of the future are not going to be like super technical founders or people build things in tech. They're going to be users that have a problem and are going to solve it for themselves and for others. That is happening right now. But why do I mention Lovable and vibe coders? Because there's a kind of common trait between uh, platforms like Bolt and Lovable and vibe coders, and that's Supabase. Like everybody needs to eventually authenticate their users, put some database, put some storage, and Supabase comes to help. But there's a problem. When you use Supabase, then first you need to understand how Supabase work, and so you need to end up doing a lot of kind of unneeded work on the side. And second, if you plug your agents into your Lovable, then you're disconnected from Supabase, and that's wrong. And so we're here to fix it. Today, we are announcing our Supabase MCP server. So that's right. If you are using Supabase on its own or with tools with like Lovable or Bolt, if you're using with all this together, then you can also now connect the same instance of Supabase to Toolhouse seamlessly. That's the simplicity that we want to bring to the market. And so I'm going to show you in just a moment what that means, how that works. There's been a ton of people already trying out the Subapase MCP server over the weekend, and those are obviously our fantastic community for Lovable Shipped, which I want to say hi and thanks for all the feedback also. Um, and all the other thing you can do is that you can use this MCP server standalone as well for free. Sign up for 2 hours and you're good to go. So let me bring up my usual banners. Well, obviously, have the QR code here. And if you want to sign up, just go on Toolhouse.ai. And that's all you have to do, really. So let me pull this up. Toolhouse.ai, you start typing, and you're good to go. But we do have another interesting trick for you, because the Supabase MCP server, just like any other MCP server, will need some sort of uh, configuration of sorts. And the configuration itself means that you have to pull all the details left and right. You need to figure out the address for your MCP server, and those parameters are a little bit too much for the average vibe coder. And vibe coders, they're usually like solopreneurs, where people trying to figure out how to sell their idea, and that's a good idea, and they shouldn't be held down by technicalities. Like CEO may or not be technical, that's okay, but you shouldn't be brought down by things that you shouldn't know to begin with. And so we built a Toolhouse Supabase linker that allows you to prepare the parameters for your MCP server seamlessly. And I'm going to show you the entire flow. So what I'm going to show you today is first our MCP server, the linker, and then we're going to just figure out what's on a sample Supabase project, which are going to create and pull up. How's it sound? So let's start having some fun. Again, as always, this is always super unstructured, and I really like this kind of vibe when it comes to building stuff together. I really love it. And so let's start figuring out what the Toolhouse MCP server looks like. We're going to use the MCP inspector. We're going to use a bunch of very interesting tools, but more importantly, we're going to build something. At the end of this, we're going to see something that an agent that uses Supabase. So without further ado, I think I hype myself even too much. I'm going to share my screen, and bring it into chaos mode. And here's the chaos mode. Whoa. All right. Enough. So this is Supabase. I created a project here on my Toolhouse org. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Perfect. That's it. And this is one. So nothing. So we're trying to figure out if we can create something with the MCP server. Okay. So we created, first and foremost, the MCP server itself that we're going to show you in just a second. But to configure it, you need to bring your personal access token and you need to bring your project ID into the MCP server. And so if you don't know how to create it, then we got you. We created this Supabase linker app that's obviously aptly built on Lovable as well, that allows you to compile these details here. And so what I'm going to do is to get my project ID, which is this one, just copy it and paste it here. As you can see, I already did it. And then the personal access token, which you will find by following this link, which is conveniently here. So if you don't know it, you can create a new one, but then you just copy that, and that's what we get. And when you are all set, all you have to do is see ready to connect. We can just complete the setup in Toolhouse. And look at what's happening here. You are going to be brought into Agent Studio, and Agent Studio is going to create an agent that's already set up to use your Toolhouse MCP server, which you are going to see here. And what's best is that you can actually copy this and paste it into an MCP inspector. We're actually using the official one here. And when we connect, you can see the tools that are at your disposal. And those tools come from the official MCP server. So it's not really that we did any black magic. We actually took what Supabase created already and delivered it, deployed it for you. So you don't have to figure out how to install packages, how to open terminal, it's all here. And those are all the activities that the MCP server is able to do for you, like listing tables, extensions, execute queries on the database, getting the logs, getting the project URL. So that's very easy to do. So if I do this with the server configured, there you go. That's my Supabase address. It's very empty, so I don't even know what's going to happen if I copy paste this here. Well, there you go. But at least it's responding, So the other thing that you have is to search the documentation. So you actually have all the possible documentation. And that opens up two very interesting avenues, because now all of a sudden your agent has access to the entire Supabase documentation, which means that you can use this for so many purposes. You can use it to ping something from the database, and so act as the backend. You can also use it into your development workflow to figure out how do you do stuff with Supabase, because now your agent is able to understand this kind of things, And so I'm going to show you now what happens when you deploy the agent. First, let me show you the finished product here. I was just trying to figure out what was in the project, and the server responded. You see, this is the URL that we saw, that we used, and I told them I'm new with Supabase and I need help figuring out the project. Can you help? Yes, of course. And so I started talking. Obviously, I'm going to show you. This is pointless to just show you the chat. Let's just talk to the agent and see what happens. No, so I'm going to do this back to my original agent. I'm just going to deploy it. And then, as you know, what we do with Toolhouse is that we give you an interface that you can use to talk to your agent. And if you're good with that, you can embed it even. And as always, you have a full-on API that you can integrate with your project. And if you're using something like Lovable, as always, we give you even the one-shot prompt that you can just copy-paste back into your Lovable project. But now this, chances are you don't need this anymore, because you already connected your project with the Lovable, if you were working with Lovable before, obviously. And all you have to do is to just reference the project from within your agents. So what we're going to do is just talk to our agent using the interface here. Okay, so here we're just going to tell the agent, hey, I'm new with Subapase, and I need help figuring out my project. I wanted to build a simple to-do app. Can you help me configure it in Supabase, please? And see what happens, Now, there you go. Perfect. So as you see, we can tell the agent to do stuff with us. We can also tell, before you proceed, can you show me a list of tables already configured in Supabase, and see what happens. Now it's obviously talking to the MCP server, and this is what we have into our database. And I'm sure if I go back to our database here, we'll probably have stuff. So let's take a look at the table editor here. If we have any, I think I'm super not familiar. No tables or view. Perfect. So this is an empty state, so we can only see the default tables from the MCP server and from our Supabase project, which is perfect. So what we're going to do here, again, would you like me to proceed with creating a new table for your to-do app? Oh yeah, that would be great. Let's see if it works. So now it's executed some SQL, and I'm going to show you while I'm here what's happening. So I'm going to open a new window and show you the agent runs. So we're running this agent with the Supabase project assistant. There you go. And in agent runs, you have the entire history of what's going on, including if there's an error, if something goes wrong. And so you see the behind the scenes here. You see what the agent called. So here it called the list tables with no arguments. And this is the result we got directly from the MCP server. It's a lot. Wow. All right. And it was able to summarize it pretty quickly, And now it's creating a new table. There you go, with the create branch. See what happens back. I think maybe done, maybe not be done. Still working on it. So there's things that will go on and on. Okay, let's see. Okay, did you succeed? Agent stalking. It's probably, if I refresh this execution, we're probably going to see more stuff. Oh, something went wrong. So let's just start again. No problem. Can you help me setting up a to-do app on my Supabase? And let's see what happens. So, but you get the point here. Another thing I'm going to do next. There you go. Let's see what happens. Perfect. The to-do table has been successfully created in the database. So here, let me go back to the other execution, see what happens here. And there you go. Now, get project URL, the tables. We see this before. Apply migration. This is the SQL that ran, and apply migration. Perfect. So we should have a to-do table on our Supabase. Moment of truth. There you go. And that's the to-dos item. So the to-dos table created by the agent. That's pretty insane. So we already have all we need to create our to-do able task completed. Perfect. Now I'm going to just keep going. Perfect. Can you actually interact with the table itself on behalf of a user? Meaning, can you pre-populate some example tasks? And so you're basically doing this, and the flow here is that we're just setting up the table, but oh, there you go. And what happens here is that actually you can code the agent to do something at a specific interval. For example, you can say that you can mark all the tasks as done after a certain timeout, or you can decide to email the user to remind them of tasks that have not been done in, say, 24 hours. And this is super simple. Like, you still reference the agent, so you can also go back to the agent or clone and do a new one, and exactly specify this. So let me see what's been created. So I'm going to go back to this test MCP. There you go. Created ads. Perfect. And updated ads. Perfect. So this means that we have all we need to basically create a meaningful agentic app. And it could go like this. It can warn the user to complete some tasks that are not completed. So we're going to tell the agent to send an email to the user with a reminder of things that need to be completed. Okay, and to do that, we're just going to this will keep, because this is our helper agent that allows us to code the table. I'm just going to create a new agent, actually, and this new agent is going to basically do this. Build an agent that connects to this Supabase MCP server. And that's the same address as before. The agent should look at all the tasks that are not completed in the to-dos table and send an email to my email with a list of tasks that are not completed. So, as always, Agent Studio is going to create the prompt for us, just like it did last time. That worked. And that's it. So I'm going to just try and run this agent, see what happens. Or maybe just deploy it as well. And then at some point, it's going to call the right tools. Actually, I'm going to give the agent an out. Please use, I'm going to use an empty bundle. So I'm only going to use the add to the Subapase MCP. And that's also a good segue for me to show you how to create a bundle and what is a bundle. A bundle is actually the ability for the agent to only see the MCP servers that you want it to see. In this case, we are plugged to our MCP server, which serves by default about 40 tools, and the Supabase MCP server, who also serves a bunch of other tools. And so this may mean that the agent sometimes can get confused, like here. In this case, what we want is instead to only use the send email that we're going to use here and the Supabase server. So when you add an MCP server, all the tools in the MCP server are available by default. But also our tools are available by default. Instead, what we want is only use the send email from our MCP server and the entire Subapase MCP server. And to do that, you can create a bundle that could be, we can call it only send email. And then we're going to just select the send email tool here. There you go. So we created this bundle, super simple. Perfect. There's only one MCP server in this, plus the Supabase MCP server. And so I'm going to ask Agent Studio here to do this. Please use this bundle named only send email. And the prompt is going to stay the same, but you're going to see that we're going to add a bundle here. Only send email. Perfect. So I'm going to deploy this, and we should have what we need. And the starting message is this one. Please check the to-dos table. So I'm going to use this as a starting point. Please check the to-dos table on, actually, this is table for all tasks in Supabase, and send an email with the list. And this is going to run. So this is going to take a while, but eventually we're going to get an email with the reminder. There you go. And so now I'm going to open my emails. There you go. I don't know if you can see my screen? Probably not, but I'm going to quickly switch to my phone. So remove this, and there you go. This is the list of incomplete tasks from the to-do list, which is exactly the one that we saw on Supabase. Easy, no? So that's basically Supabase done in a nutshell, using our default setup, our default agents. You don't even have to change models. It's all optimized for you. It just works. So all you had to do is really get into the Toolhouse linker, which is here, and we're going to give you all the instructions. There's also, if you go on our YouTube, you're going to see all these videos that explain how to use it. So Toolhouse Supabase linker.lovable.app, and then all you have to do is simply just reference, use this MCP server. Actually follow the instructions. Super simple. As I showed you before, and I'm going to just reshare my screen again. There you go. Actually, let me remove the banner here. I want to show you exactly what the linker looks like. In the linker, you just have to paste your project ID here, and then the access token here, and you're going to generate this URL. You don't have to do anything but click complete setup in Toolhouse, and I'll show you again. This is going to trigger automatically new agent creation in Agent Studio, and you have all you need right there. So super intuitive. And when you deploy, you have all you need, because you already have the Subapase MCP server connected to your Toolhouse agent. That's the same agent. That's the same Subapase MCP server, same Subapase instance. So when you reference the same instance that you're using with Lovable, say, then everything fits together, and it's that simple with Toolhouse. So very, very easy to get going, to get started, and that's simple. I wish I had more details to give you, but we made it extremely seamless for you to connect between Toolhouse, Lovable, and Supabase. And so from now on, all you have to do is just like instruct your agent to do things, and it will do it for you. So super simple. So you use Toolhouse as the agentic backend, then Supabase to store things like authentication, database, storage, and Lovable for amazing apps that your user will love to use and even pay for. Why not? So I hope this was very, very useful to you. Come see us on our Discord. You know, we are always there to help you out. The entire team is there, so do not hesitate to let us know, and we're going to give you more details soon. We'll never stop. You can expect more happening on the MCP side. I think MCP unlocks a ton of very good usage, and we have just so much good stuff for you in the next coming weeks. So I'm excited today, and you saw me so excited, but wait until the next few weeks, because we have even more for you. All right. So that's about it. Remember, join Toolhouse here. It's free, and join Discord. And I can't wait to see what you're going to build with Toolhouse and Supabase together. All right. See ya. Bye. Can't wait.